In this lesson, you will learn the major risks of Amazon FBA and the common mistakes sellers must avoid. Let me explain this clearly. One of the biggest risks of Amazon FBA is seller negligence. I have already mentioned this in a previous lesson, but it is important enough to repeat. If you send your products to Amazon FBA without properly creating and following the shipment plan in Seller Central, your products can face receiving problems or delays inside the Amazon fulfillment network. It does not matter whether the products you sent are worth $10,000 or $50,000. The value of the inventory does not change the consequences of a mistake. When it comes to FBA shipments, negligence can become very expensive. Even small mistakes can create serious issues inside the Amazon FBA warehouse network abroad. Let us look at a simple example. You create a shipment plan in Seller Central and Amazon assigns your inventory to a specific fulfillment center in the United States. However, during shipping, you accidentally send the products with incorrect labels or ship the cartons to a different location than the one assigned by Amazon. In such situations, the products you sent can be delayed, misrouted, or temporarily held inside the fulfillment network until the issue is resolved. Now here is something beginners often misunderstand. If sellers do not properly follow the shipment plan, several types of problems can occur. Inventory may arrive without proper labels. Cartons may be sent to the wrong fulfillment center. Units may be incorrectly prepped or packed, or the shipment contents may not match the shipment plan created in Seller Central. When these types of mistakes happen, Amazon may delay receiving the shipment, route the inventory to another fulfillment center, mark the inventory as problematic or unfulfillable, or place the shipment under investigation. For example, if the shipment plan clearly states that the inventory must be sent to a specific fulfillment center, but the seller sends the cartons to a different location, Amazon may reroute the inventory internally within its network. This internal transfer can create receiving delays and may also result in additional processing or placement-related charges. In many cases, these issues can be resolved by communicating with Amazon seller support. But if the situation is more complicated, the inventory may remain delayed inside the fulfillment network while Amazon investigates the shipment discrepancies. From practical experience, these delays can sometimes last several days or even weeks depending on the situation. Another important risk sellers should understand is that inventory can sometimes face problems inside the warehouse network itself. In rare situations, inventory units may be misplaced, damaged, or counted incorrectly during receiving or internal warehouse handling. Amazon does provide reimbursement policies for certain types of inventory loss or damage, but the process of identifying the issue, opening a case, and receiving reimbursement can take time. Because of this, experienced sellers regularly monitor their inventory reports and shipment records to make sure everything is accounted for properly. Another major risk of sending products to a foreign Amazon FBA fulfillment center is something many beginners do not think about in advance. Once the products are shipped there, bringing them back to your home country becomes very difficult and expensive. Products stored in an Amazon FBA warehouse can only be removed through Amazon removal orders. When a removal order is placed, Amazon will send those products only to an address located in that same country. In other words, the return address must be inside that country, such as a prep center, warehouse, logistics partner, or another valid operational address located there. For example, if your inventory is stored in the United States, the removal order address must also be located within the United States. Similarly, if your inventory is stored in the United Kingdom, the removal order address must also be within the United Kingdom. Because of this limitation, many international sellers work with prep centers, third-party logistics providers, or partner warehouses in those countries. However, not every seller has operational addresses in every country where they sell. This is why whenever we send products to a foreign Amazon FBA fulfillment center, we are essentially taking that step with our own financial risk. This is very important to understand. Whatever products you send to an Amazon fulfillment center abroad should be products you are reasonably confident will sell in that market. If the products you send to the FBA warehouse do not sell quickly, inventory worth hundreds of thousands can pile up and sit idle inside the warehouse. When this happens, the money you invested in those products is not being recovered, which directly affects your cash flow and money rotation. It creates a serious blockage in your financial cycle. Let us look at a simple example. Suppose you invested 10 lakh rupees and sent products to an Amazon fulfillment center in the United States. If those products do not sell the way you expected, it is essentially the same as freezing your 10 lakh rupees in a foreign country. So, if the products you send to FBA do not sell fast enough, that itself becomes a real financial risk that sellers must carefully consider. Another important risk of Amazon FBA involves the storage fees and aged inventory charges that Amazon applies. Amazon charges monthly storage fees for inventory stored inside its fulfillment centers. These fees are calculated based on the amount of warehouse space your inventory occupies. If your products sell slowly and remain inside the fulfillment center for a long time, Amazon may also apply aged inventory surcharge fees on top of the regular monthly storage fees. These additional charges are applied when inventory stays for extended periods such as 181 days, 271 days, or even 365 days. When products remain unsold for such long durations, these storage and aged inventory fees can gradually increase and lead to long-term financial losses for the seller. Another risk that sellers must understand is price competition on Amazon. Many products on Amazon are sold by multiple sellers on the same listing. When several sellers compete for the buy box, price reductions can happen quickly. In order to stay competitive, sellers may feel pressure to lower their selling price. If this happens repeatedly, the profit margin on the product can shrink significantly. Another factor beginners often overlook is product return rates. On Amazon, customers can easily return products, and in certain categories, the return rate can be quite high. When products are returned, some units may come back in unsellable condition due to damage or missing parts. These returned units may then be classified as unfulfillable inventory, which can create additional losses for the seller. Sellers should also understand that Amazon regularly updates its platform rules, operational policies, and fee structures. Changes in FBA fees, packaging requirements, listing compliance rules, or category restrictions can affect how sellers operate on the platform. Because Amazon controls the marketplace infrastructure, sellers must always stay updated with policy announcements and operational updates inside Seller Central. Another operational limitation sellers sometimes face is FBA inventory restrictions or restock limits. Amazon may limit how much inventory a seller can send to fulfillment centers depending on factors such as storage capacity, account performance, or sales history. During high demand periods or peak seasons, these limits can affect how sellers plan their inventory shipments. So, the key takeaway is this: Amazon FBA can be extremely powerful when products sell quickly and inventory moves efficiently, but it can also become risky if shipment accuracy, product demand, competition, return rates, storage planning, and platform rules are not carefully understood and managed.